Hello, good day, and welcome to our book review and webinar today. Happy New Year to every one of us. I'm so grateful, I'm so thankful for this new year, and thank you for joining us today. So my name is Choma Odiokolo. Yes, so we usually have our book review and weekly webinars every Wednesday. So we're having one now, and we'll definitely have replays sent out. So today we'll be discussing about creating your own future, a guide for parents to achieve goals and inspire their families. There can never be a better time other than now. We need to have this conversation about creating our future, setting our goals, what we want to do, what we want to achieve, what we want our future to be by the end of 2025. I think this is the best time to have this conversation. So thank you. You're welcome. Please come in, sit in, take your notes, jot down what you need to jot down, write down what you need to write down. That will be of great help for you and for us this year. So now, as parents, it's our duty to create our own future. It's our responsibility as individuals to create the future we envision, the future we want to see. It's our duty to create the future of what we want 2025 or this new year and every other year to be. We have to sit down, we have to do this thing because it's our responsibility. And we have the guide because when we create our future, we model, we also help our children to create their own future. So what are the things we as parents can start to do from this year to help us create this future we envision, this future we want, this future we want to see? Now, one of the things we must focus on this year is our beliefs as parents. We must focus on our beliefs because our beliefs have a way of influencing everything we do outside. The beliefs we have about ourselves, about our children, about the world, about our goals, about everything has a way of influencing our actions. Now we must realize that all beliefs are acquired, not inborn. So all our beliefs of different things we have as parents, as individuals, all our beliefs are acquired and not inborn. So as a parent, if you have some beliefs of maybe some negative thoughts or some beliefs or some things that don't favor you, those beliefs, you are not actually born with those beliefs. Those beliefs, you acquire them. So it's very good we are aware that we acquire our beliefs, not necessarily that we were born with it. So if we acquire our beliefs, that means we can change our beliefs. We can change what we believe about ourselves that is not serving us. Now, our beliefs change our reality. So for this year, we have to look out and watch out for our beliefs. What are your beliefs? What are the things you believe in as a parent? Because your belief has a way of changing your reality. When you have a positive belief about yourself, when you have a positive mindset about yourself, when you set your goals and you believe strongly you're going to put in the work and achieve these goals, these beliefs translate to reality. So we need to pay close attention to our beliefs. Now, some of us have self-limiting beliefs. Most times, we as parents or we as adults, we move around with self-limiting beliefs. Now, we must understand that these self-limiting beliefs, we are not necessarily inborn, we acquire them. So when we move about with self-belief, it tells us that we can change those negative. If we have limiting self-belief, we can change our limiting self-belief to positive beliefs. We can change our negative self-belief that don't favor us to positive beliefs that can start to favor us. Now, as a parent, as an individual, if you're going through life with negative limiting beliefs, or you limit yourself, you tell yourself, okay, I can't do this, I can't do that, I can't achieve this. Look at that self-limiting belief and say to that self-limiting belief, what if they were not true at all? Yes, what if those self-limiting beliefs were not true at all? Because our beliefs are acquired, not born. So we need to empower ourselves as parents this year to believe that self-limiting beliefs are not true. Tell yourself those self-limiting beliefs are not true. What if I begin to change my mind, change my focus? Oh, thank you very much. If you're live here with us, say hello, say hi. Let's know where you are watching us live from. So those self-limiting beliefs are not true. They are acquired, not inborn. So we need to empower ourselves. We need to give back power to ourselves to change our beliefs, to change the things we believe about ourselves. Because the way and the things we believe about ourselves have a way of affecting our reality. So begin to empower yourself this year with positive beliefs, not limiting beliefs. Don't tell yourself, I can't do this, I can't achieve this goal, I can't. No, begin to change those self-limiting beliefs to positive beliefs, because it is possible that those self-limiting beliefs don't even exist. And most times we limit ourselves because of our experiences, the experiences we've gone through as parents, our stories, our situation. We use our situation, our stories to create the belief that we now live, that translate to our everyday reality. So it's possible that those beliefs were not actually true. Those beliefs that have been limiting you were not actually true. You can begin to change your mind. We can begin to change our focus to start to empower ourselves with beliefs that will uplift us and not beliefs that will be a disservice to us. So it's our duty as parents to change our beliefs. It's our duty as parents to begin to think differently. 2025 is going to be like, there's not going to, the only change that will take place is as a result of the choices we make, the decisions we make when we change our beliefs, our goals, the changes we make about ourselves. So we need to begin to think differently. So what are your thoughts about this new year? What are you thinking of differently about this new year? And we should begin to change our focus. So what is your focus? Do you have a goal already? Do you have a goal of what you want to do? Begin to change your focus and begin to place your focus on the things you want to achieve. Change your focus to the future. Begin to envision, what do you want to achieve? How do you want this year 2025 to be? At the end of this year, when you turn back and look at yourself, how would you want to see yourself? Now, one of the ways we can begin to change our beliefs and change the focus, about ourselves, change the things we believe to positive things about ourselves, is to begin to select our beliefs as parents. Now, we need to select what we believe. We need to select the beliefs, select positive things, begin to think of positive things and not disempowering thoughts. From the belief store, we are destined to be, we can be successful in life by just believing, by just envisioning, by just seeing where we are going to, or where we want to go to at the end of this year. So we should begin to change our focus to the future. We should begin to change our focus to what we want to see, what we want to be successful at. Now, we should look for the good in every situation. That is another way of perspective taking. So one of the things that will be a positive change to us this year is to begin to look for good in every situation. So when you encounter a difficult situation, just ask yourself, what is in this situation for me? What are the lessons I'm meant to pick from this situation? When we begin to do this, we find out that somehow we begin to change the beliefs we have about ourselves. Now, as parents, you must remember that within every difficulty or obstacle, there is a seed of an equal or greater advantage of benefits. So within every situation that seems difficult, or every challenge that seems is too big, is hard, there's always a seed of a greater advantage or benefit. So when we go through this year, even if we have our goals, definitely we're going to go through some challenges and some obstacles. But when we encounter these challenges, we should always sit down and ask ourselves, what is in this challenge for me? What are the lessons I'm meant to pick from this challenge for me? Because sometimes we go through challenges, and this challenge might just be opportunities or stepping stone to greatness. So we should form this habit of reflecting, what is in a situation for us. It's all about changing our perspective. When people see things in a negative light, we should begin to see things in a positive light. When people begin to see things like, okay, this thing looks difficult, we should begin to change our perspective to see that thing that other people think is difficult to be positive, when we begin to change our perspective, it has a way of affecting our beliefs. Now, we must understand as parents, it's our duty to create the mental equivalent of what we want to realize and enjoy in this world. So whatever we want to realize, whatever we want to achieve, whatever we want to be successful at, we must first of all create the mental equivalent of that thing. We must first of all think about it first. You know, there's this saying I heard that before success is achieved twice, first of all in your mind, and secondly in reality. So what is that thing you want to achieve this year? You need to start to think it in your mind. You need to start to envision it in your mind, because the more you think what you want to achieve, somehow you begin to align, your actions begin to align with your thoughts. And there's something called the neuroplasticity of the brain. The more you think about something, the more you find yourself moving towards that thing. So if you must achieve your goals, or if we must achieve our goals as parents, we must begin to create the mental picture first of all in our heads. We must begin to create the mental equivalent in our heads. Now, we must behave consistently with our new self-image. We must be consistent with our goals. We must be consistent with the habits we want to keep this year. We must be consistent to self-discipline. We must be consistent to the things, the promises we've made to ourselves. We must be consistent to what we've said we want to do. That is one way we can succeed this year. And we must keep our words and actions consistent. Be consistent with your actions. Be consistent with your words. Even if you find out that you're not achieving your goal, you're not meeting your target, still be consistent, be positive, and have a different and a positive perspective. Then finally, we must replace self-limiting beliefs with life-enhancing beliefs. One of the ways we can begin to change our belief, change our focus, is to replace self-limiting beliefs with life-enhancing beliefs. So what are those beliefs that have been limiting us as parents, as individuals? What are your limiting beliefs? Could it be fear? Could it be trauma? Could it be your belief about something that happened? We must begin to change our mind. We must begin to change those beliefs with life-enhancing beliefs, belief that will enhance our life. Another thing we need to do this year as parents, is to create our own future. So what future do you want for yourself? What future do you envision for this year? What future do you envision for your children? It's our responsibility as parents to create that future we envision. It's not the work of anybody, but it is our responsibility. Now we must realize as parents, we must realize that as parents that we have the power to create a future we desire for ourselves. Everything starts from the position of vision. Having this vision of what we want to achieve, having this vision, this mindset of what we want our children to achieve. So what is the quality of your vision this year? What vision do you have for yourself? What vision do you envision for yourself? Now we must realize that parents, we are all leaders. Leaders are very good at people that have great vision. You are a leader. If you're a parent listening to me, you're a leader in your home, you're a leader somewhere at work, in your circle. So as leaders, leading our children, leading the leaders of tomorrow, we should have vision. So what is your vision for yourself, for your children, for your family? Now, non-leaders do not have vision. People that are not leaders, people that don't want to lead, they don't have vision. They just live life without vision. But we are called as parents to serve our children, to raise our children in the way of God. So we are expected to have the vision, first of all, for ourselves, for our children, for our family. And we must realize as parents that we become what we think about most of the time. So your vision is that thing you begin to think. When you have this vision, you find out that you begin to think most of the time about this thing. Maybe you have a vision to achieve a particular goal. You find out that you begin to think about this thing often. So your vision, you become what you think most of the time. So as a parent, parent, when you begin to think more positive about yourself, about your family, your children, you become that thing most of the time. But we must first of all have the vision somewhere so that we can think of that vision. So I'm encouraging us to create the vision for ourselves. We must realize that as parents, we are leaders, and we should always think about the future. We should always think about where we are going to as parents. So where are you going to as a parent this year? Where are you headed to? Or would this year be the same as the other year? What changes would you make this year? What changes in your habits would you make this year? So where are we going to? As leaders, we have to have good vision. We have to envision for the future. Non-leaders think about the present and the pleasures and the problems of the moment. So people that are not leaders, they just think about the problems of the moment. They just think about the present. They don't think about the future. But we are leaders. We're expected to think about the future. You know, people that are not leaders, they worry so much about the past and what have happened that they cannot change. You find out that most times we spend our time on things that we can't change. Most times we spend our time on the past. But as leaders, we are reminded and encouraged to focus on the future. Focus on the future. Envision your future self. When you envision your future self, you begin to ask yourself, how do I need to make this my future self a reality from my present self? From this point, this present point, what are the steps? What are the actions I need to put in place to ensure I become this future person? So we must think about the future. You must envision the future of what the end of this year, 2025, is going to be for you. Think about the future. When we begin to think about the future, we begin to think like leaders, and we soon get the same result leaders do get. Most of us have great leaders we admire, but most of these great leaders, they think about the future, they envision. So as parents, when we begin to think about the future, we find out that we begin to get the same results we admire most of these leaders have. You have to think several years into the future while making decisions in the present. So we should focus on the future. What is your 5-year plan? What is your 10-year plan? What is your 20-year plan? We should not just be focused on just the present. We have to focus on the future. And lastly, we should just think. Just think as a parent. Most of us don't think. In fact, there's a research that says a good number of percentage of people don't think. A good number of percentage of people also think that they are thinking, but they are not thinking. I don't have the statistics here, but we should just think. There's no cost for thinking. Nobody's going to say you pay this amount when you think. So why think? Wow, think. We should exercise ourselves, exercise our brain by just thinking. Because the farther we think as parents into the future, the better decisions we will make in the present to assure that the future become a reality. The farther we think about the future, the better decision we make in the present. So I'm encouraging us as parents, as we begin this new year, just think. Don't limit your thoughts. Don't limit yourself to what you are going to think about. Just think, and think as far as you can think. And create a 5-year plan. Create a 5-year fantasy. Yes. What is your fantasy for yourself? And begin thinking about what your life will look like in 5 years' time. You know, if you had the perfect situation as a parent, if every situation, all the conditions were perfect, what would your life be like in 5 years' time? Have you thought about that? Yes. I'm encouraging us right now to get to work and start to fantasize, start to envision, start to think about your life, the life of your children and your family in 5 years' time. And when you do that, remember, don't set any limitations in your thoughts. Imagine you have no limitations in your thoughts. Imagine you had all situations, 100%. All situations are just perfect. Imagine everything was perfect and there's no limitation to what you can think. What would you be thinking of? So it's a reminder for us as parents to think. think as far as you can think, and we should refuse to compromise our dreams. Dream big and don't settle for smaller goals and have success. Dream big, don't settle for smaller goals and have success. Most of us settle for smaller goals. Most of us settle for half success. But this year, please dream big. Dream as far as your mind can take. Dream big and don't settle for smaller success. Decide what you really want as a parent. What do you want as a parent? What do you want for your life this year? Because the truth is that it's our decision that will make the difference from this year to what we had last year. Decide what you really want as a parent. Decide what you want your future to be like, what you want the future of your children and your family to be like. And it is possible. We should stop limiting ourselves, because it is possible. It is possible. We should have no limitation to our thinking. Because when we limit ourselves, when we limit our thoughts, we kind of limit our potential. Remember, we should not underestimate our potential as parents. We should not underestimate what we can do, what we can achieve. Just think as far as you can think. Fantasize and imagine you had a perfect future. What would it be like? Fantasize you had every situation perfect. What would it be like? I'm encouraging us to think as parents. Don't place a limitation to your thoughts. Then just do it. Just do it. Take action immediately. Enough of the I will do it. I want to. This is my goal. Take action right now. Take action and get to work. Just do it. What are your goals? What are your plans? Start to think. Wherever you're sitting, watching me, listening, start to think. Take action right now. Don't wait for a perfect time, because you might wait too long. We must remember as parents that low achievers always have an excuse for not taking action today. So a lot of us have excuses when we want to do something. Oh God, I don't have the time. Excuse. But excuses are for low achievers. And we as parents, we are leaders. We are not low achievers. So we must begin to learn this act of do it now. Get to work now. Do the action immediately. And lastly, we must design our perfect calendar. So what is your perfect calendar for 2025? What is your calendar for January? How would your calendar for this month and the rest of the 12 months be like? Would you be the one in charge of your calendar, or would you allow situations, experiences, emotions, and the feelings of other people to come and influence your calendar? So as parents, we are encouraged and reminded today to design our perfect calendar. If I am to ask us, what is your perfect calendar for this year? Do you have one? We are called today to begin to design this perfect calendar we want. Decide how you would like to live your life. Decide how your lifestyle would be. Decide how you spend your day. Decide how you spend your time. Decide on the appointments you will have. Decide on who you will give in time to. Decide on the things you're going to invest on this year. Oh, thank you for joining us. Please say hello, say hi. Let us know where you are watching us from. So design your perfect calendar this year. It's a call for us as parents to design our calendars ourselves. Don't allow other people design your calendar for you. Don't allow the mood of other persons to design your calendar for you. Don't allow the mood of the day. Thank you, Ma, for joining us. Don't allow the mood of the day to design your calendar for you. Don't allow the situations of other people to design your calendar for you. Sit down as a parent and design how you want this month to be. Thank you, Ma. Thank you, Ma. Sit down and design how you want this month to be. How do you want this year to be? Are you going to give in appointments? Are you going to say yes to all invitations as a parent this year? Are you going to say yes to all appointments when you know you're having constraints of time? What are you going to allow into your time? What are you going to allow into your space? Design what you want to do, because the truth is that when we have a design, you have a focus. So when you have a focus, when you see that thing that doesn't align with your focus, you're quick to dictate it and say, no, this shouldn't be here. So design how you want your perfect calendar to be. And lastly, create your ideal vision. Yes, don't let situations of other people design your calendar. Thank you, ma. Create your ideal vision and future. What is your ideal future? What is your ideal vision? Sit down now and begin to create it. Because when we as parents have clear and exciting goals and future, when our goals are clear, when they are exciting, we feel happier about ourselves and the world. So we have to be clear about what we want. What are you going to tolerate this year? What are you going to allow into your space? We have to be clear about what we are going to tolerate and allow into our space this year. So create this ideal vision for yourself. It's our responsibility. No one will do it for us. It's our duty and responsibility. And lastly, we have to determine our true goal. Determine your true goal for this year. One thing we must remember as parents, in setting goals, we need to have self-discipline. We need to have self-discipline. It is very important as parents and very key for us to have self-discipline. Self-discipline is very, very important. And I'm going to share with us 7 keys to goal setting. So listen carefully, 7 keys to goal setting. Now, number 1, our goals must be clear. Our goals must be specific, our goals must be detailed, and our goals must be written down. Your goal as a parent, our goals must be specific, it must be concrete and tangible. It must be tangible and something that we envision, something we can visualize, and something we can imagine in our minds. So when you say you have a goal of you want to be happy in 2025, it's vague. It's not specific. So our goals should be specific. Our goals should be clear. It should be detailed and it should be written down. No goals should be on your head. Write it down. Even the Bible says it in Habakkuk chapter 2. Write down the vision. Make it plain so that he who sees it will run with it. Even we as parents, sometimes because of the situations of life, we get to forget our goals. But when we see it in that place we've written it, yes, thank you, ma. Our goals should be clear, detailed, focused, and written down. Yes, ma. When we see our goals where we've written it, it prompts us to go back and start to work on our goals. So write down your goals. Number 2, our goals must be measurable and objective. Your goal as a parent must be objective, not subjective, and it should be measurable. Yes. Number 3, our goals must be time bound, with schedules, deadlines, and sub-deadlines. So your goal must be time-bound. It should have a schedule. It should have a deadline. It should have a sub-deadlines. When do you want to achieve this? When do you want to achieve this goal? What do you want to do? How are you going to measure your achieving this goal? It should have a deadline. It should have a schedule. Yes. Then number 4, our goals must be challenging. Yes, our goals must challenge us. Our goals must challenge us to want to improve on our skills, to want to improve on our knowledge, to want to do better. So our goals must be challenging. Our goals must be congruent with our values and in harmony with each other. So our goals must be related to our values. What are your values? Because you cannot do goal different from your values. Your value has to align. Your goals have to align with your value. Because when your goal align with your value, it makes you to be happier. It makes you to feel a sense of, okay, I am achieving something. Then number 6, our goals must be balanced among order of our careers, our businesses, our financial life, our families, our health, our spiritual life, and our community involvement. So we must balance our goals. You must put your goals so that no one is suffering. Family life should not suffer because you're doing career. Career should not suffer because you're doing something else. So we must try to ensure what is essential per time. So do that that is essential to you as a parent now. Then lastly, we must have a major definite purpose for your life. So what is the purpose for your life? What is your purpose for this year? What is your purpose for being on earth? What is your purpose for this year? That is a question we have to ask ourselves. And I'm going to leave us with these 12 steps we can use to set and achieve our goals. 12 steps we can use to set and achieve our goals. Number 1, you must have a desire as a parent. What do you really want as a parent, and how badly do you want it? What do you want, and how badly do you want that thing? Do you want that thing badly? Are you radical to get that thing badly? What do you want? One of the step, or the first step to achieve our goal, we have to have this desire. Do you have this burning desire in you to achieve what you want to achieve? You've written your goal down, yes. Do you have the desire to achieve it? Do you have this strong desire? How badly do you want it? We must want to achieve our goals badly for us to achieve them. We must have the strong desire for us to achieve our goals. Number 2 step to help us to set and achieve our goal, we must believe that our goal is achievable. When you set your goals, start to have a positive mindset. As I said earlier, don't limit yourself in any way. Don't say, oh, because this person tried it and this person did not get it, I don't think I'm going to get it. No, we must start with the mindset that our goals are achievable, and that will go a long way in helping us achieve our goals. Then number 3, we must write down our goal. Write down the vision so that he who sees the vision will run with it. Write down your goal. Write down your vision. Write down what you want to achieve. Get a journal. Journal your thoughts. What do you want to achieve this year? Write it down. That is one of the ways to achieve your goal. Number 4, we must determine our starting point. This point you are, where are you starting from? For example, if you have a goal that, okay, I want to lose some weight, your starting point could be, okay, at this point I'm starting. For example, this year I'm going to commit to exercise. Okay, what do I weigh from now that I'm starting? So we must determine our starting point. This point you're starting, what is everything? What is the situation like? You must write it down so that when you start to achieve your goal, you can compare. You can come back and look at what you have done. So one of the ways to achieve our goals is that we must determine our starting point. So determine where you are starting from now as a parent. Look at the situations around you now and commit to working on them. Then number 5, we must determine why we want our goal. Why do you want to achieve what you want to achieve? Why do you want that goal so badly? Why do you want to achieve that vision so badly? What is your motivation? Is it because every other person is doing it? Or why do you want to achieve your goal? You need to sit down. We need to sit down as parents and ask ourselves this question. Then number 5, we must determine, okay, number 6, we must set a deadline. We must set a deadline to achieving our goals. Your goal should not be vague. Don't say this year I want to, and don't set a vague goal. You must have a deadline. If you have a goal, at the end of the day, you should check yourself. Okay, did I achieve my goal? Did I do anything towards achieving my goal? So we must have deadlines to achieve our goal. And number 7, we must identify the obstacles in our way. There are going to be obstacles. There are going to be sometimes you'll be tired. You don't want to do this anymore. There are going to be sometimes you literally drag yourself. But we must identify these obstacles, because when we identify these obstacles, when we encounter them, we're in a better position to say, okay, I think this is an obstacle on my way. What do I need to do to walk past it? So we must identify the obstacles in our way and intentionally begin to plan on how we are going to walk past or overcome those obstacles. Then number 8, we must determine the additional knowledge and skills we need. So what are the knowledge and skills you need to achieve your goal? Do you need to do some courses? Do you need to to read some books? Do you need to start to follow some professionals in your field? Do you need to start to follow some coaches, some mentors? Do you need to improve on your soft skills, your digital skills? What are the skills? What are the knowledge you need to help you achieve your goal? We need to sit down, write this thing, and begin to work on them. Then number 9, we need to determine the people whose help we will need. So who are the people that will help us in our goal setting? Who are those people you can see they are already achieving and doing that thing you want to achieve? We need to sit down, determine, okay, how am I going to learn from this person's wealth of resource? How am I going to get closer and learn from this person? We need to sit down, write it down, and begin to work on it. Then we must make a plan. That is number 10. We must make a plan. put all our plans in action. Make a plan. As parents this year, let us plan. Our life should not be anyhow. It should not be as you wake up, according to your mood, according to your emotion, according to your reaction. No, let us plan our lives. Let us plan the lives of our children, our family. Let us make a plan. Put all your thoughts, put everything together. Then number 11, we must visualize our goal continually. It's our duty to continually visualize our goal. That thing you say you want to achieve, visualize it every time. When you sit down, visualize it. When you're walking on the road, visualize it. Visualize it continually. See your goal vividly in your mind daily. See your goal vividly in your mind. See your goal vividly in your mind. Visualize your goal. Then number 12, which is the last step, is never give up. As parents, we should not give up. Never give up. Back up everything with persistence and determination. We should make a decision to never give up. This year, we should make a decision as parents to never give up. Even if you've tried before, you've not achieved your goal, even if it seems like all situations, conditions it's not working for me, but we should decide never to give up. When we don't give up, our children will learn from us and our children will emulate us. Then in summary, as parents, we must remember to be good role models to our children, because our actions, the visions, our beliefs, whatever we do has a way of influencing the mindset and the habits of our children. So our habits, our mindset, everything we do has a way of influencing the mindset of our children. And while we are at it, while we are at creating our goals, we must teach resilience, we must build resilience, and we must also teach our children resilience. When things don't work out our way, when you've not achieved this thing, we must build resilience and teach resilience to our children. And remember to be disciplined. Goal setting is just like being self-disciplined. We must put in self-discipline, for us to achieve our goal. And when we do that, we will see our children will learn from us. And while we are creating our goal, we should encourage our children to also set their goals. Get a book, get a journal, tell your child, write your goal. Even if the child doesn't understand, explain it to the child the way the child is going to understand. We should encourage our children to have a goal. We should encourage our children to envision. We should encourage our children to dream. We should encourage our children, to just believe that there is no limitation. There is nothing limiting me. We should encourage our children that they can think, they can dream, they can achieve their goal. As we carry on these exercises, as we plan for this year, we should also carry our children along. And lastly, as parents, we must remember to manage time. Time management is life management. We should manage our time, because when we manage our time, we will manage our life better. So it's a call, it's a reminder for us as parents to begin to work on ourselves for this new year, to begin to put in the work, to begin to put in everything we need to put on, our beliefs, our mindset, everything, writing down our goals and start our planning. Start to plan for this year. Don't allow this year to just catch you up. Don't allow things, people, situation, everything to just sweep you off. We must plan ourselves and we must plan our year. So that is all I have for us today. I believe you got value from our class. So drop it in the session. What have you learned? What is that one thing you are going to be doing today? For me, I'm going to write my goals. I'm going to write down my goals and I'm going to start to envision. I'm going to start to believe. I'm going to stop limiting. I'll stop limiting myself. I'm going to dream. I'm going to fantasize. That is what I am going to do. So drop in the comment section, what would you be doing differently? So please remember, share this video and remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, the Renewed Parents Academy. Thank you for joining us. I really do appreciate your time and I do not take your time for granted. Till I come your way next time, see you. And this is Chioma Odikolo here. Thank you and have a good day. Bye.